Shalom. Giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. Those of you coming back to the Most High God, Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right, in these latter days via the sacrifice made by his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, all right, whose Hebrew name is Yahawashi. He, Yahawashi, salvation, the deliverer, okay? And through him in these latter days, we have received comfort in the form of the Holy Spirit, all right, which is the understanding of these scriptures, okay, to be able to teach, all right, and also to be able to understand, okay, the new song, okay, which starts with what? The disciples of Yahawashi, which ultimately followed him, all right, from the foundation of the earth, all right. When you go into the book of Genesis 1, it says, in the beginning, the Elohim created the heaven and the earth. And John, all right, the disciple tells us what? In the beginning was the Word, which was an order given by the Most High God himself. All right. And he spoke his only begotten Son, which is a power within itself, into existence. Okay. And instilled in him instructions and gave him a body of first fruit spirits, okay, to work and operate with him. All right. And then you have the other spirits, all right, that followed, you see, and that church is the church that's ultimately going to rule and reign, all right, in the kingdom to come, the tabernacle of David. So I wanted to get into Matthew, the 10th chapter, where Yahawashi sends, all right, his disciples out, all right, his apostles out to preach. And he's warning them, all right, of a mindset that they should be in, and warning them of things that are going to befall them, things that they're going to go through, how to handle things. And, you know, I read this chapter and I told brothers it was as if Yahawashi was speaking one-on-one with me as I'm reading these. All right. Now, we know the original 12 disciples, all right, were the first gathering of Yahawashi as he gathered from amongst the circumcision. All right. You had the 12 disciples, but as we'll show you, there were more. But the 12 were the original. All right. And Peter was the first one that ultimately came and followed him. And then his brother Andrew. And then as you read, which we'll get the rest of the 12. Now, before we get into it, I wanted to make this disclaimer that the apostles and elders, the bishops, have never told or taught, okay, or told anyone that they were of the original 12 that walked directly with Yahawashi. All right, because you have a group of individuals who are now boldly proclaiming that they are of the original 12. All right, now when you hear the term apostle, as we'll show you, it just means to be sent, one ordained and ordered. Okay, now we do believe, all right, as you deal with the 144,000, the 12 disciples are at the head of that. We do believe some of those men are here on the planet Earth today. We do believe, okay, that some of the prophets of old that we read about are here today. Why do you think Esdras said, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? Because he's here. All right. The angel told Esdras, all right, the end ain't going to come until the number of seeds is fulfilled in you, as we would have to come back in different incarnations, all right, up until the time of the end, all right, which the power structure on the earth will be Babylon the Great, as well as the beast system, NATO and the EU, which the prophets and apostles are definitely here Because when you get Revelation, the 18th chapter, when Babylon is destroyed, it says, rejoice over her, ye holy apostles and prophets. We always get Sirach, the 36th chapter, that says prophets that have been chosen from the beginning will be raised up. However, we never make the bold statement, all right, that we are this man, or that we were of the original 12 that walk with Yahawashi. Again, the scriptures say, let another man commend you and not yourself. Commend ourselves or place ourselves, amongst a particular number or order within the elect. Now, we're all hoping and striving to be of the elect, all right, which when you go to Revelation, the 7th chapter, it gives you the order, as it says in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, every man in his own order, all right, Yahawashi, the first fruits, all right, which that's a bond in body, all right, that began in the heavens, the Alahayim, okay, as the scriptures say, the house of David shall be as the Alahayim in the book of Zechariah, the 12th chapter, okay, and when you read Revelation, the 7th chapter, okay, the order of the elect are the 144,000, which we know the 12 disciples are at the head of that, okay, the 12 original apostles are going to get their order and rank in the kingdom of heaven. All right. And after the 144,000, we have the large multitude. Now we're all striving to be of that number. I'm not going to lie and act like I don't want to be of the 144,000, the original leaders of our nation. I would love to be of that number. But if not, I'll be of that large multitude. I just want to make it. Okay. But we do know and understand, all right, that the Lord has sent the apostles and prophets here in these latter days. Okay. So as you see particular men teaching the word in sincerity and truth, they could very well be, all right, some of the men who walk with Yahawashi. All right. But that's ultimately going to, be determined when it's determined. We're not here to say we're of the original 12. All right. So I just wanted to put that out there. Our apostles and elders never taught us that. Okay. When you look up, the term apostle, okay, before we get into the lesson, as you see here, apostolos, okay, it just means a delegate, one who was sent, a messenger, one sent forth with orders. Okay. So in spirit, if we're of that number, we're all apostles and disciples. Now, I'm not going to call myself an apostle to put myself on the same level as the men, all right, who the Heavenly Father through his only begotten Son used to bring me into this truth. I'm just bringing this out. Okay. There's an order and a ranking system, all right, for a reason. That's always been amongst Israel. All right. Going back to the sons of God. All right. Even when we were called Israelite, Moses, there was an order set up. Okay. So this is nothing new. But the word itself, apostle, okay, it means a delegate, a messenger, one sent forth with orders. All right. Specifically applied to the 12 apostles of Hamashiach, in a broader sense applied to the other eminent followers of Yahawashi, Barnabas, Timothy, so forth. Okay. So a delegate, one sent forth with orders, and the elect men, all right, the numbers of that 144 have the new song, and they're sent forth, all right, in the latter days, all right, to sing that new song amongst all of this confusion. While the beast is trying to establish his image in the earth, all right, we're uplifting the image of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. All right, so you also have the word disciples. All right, this is the book of Acts 1 and 15. All right, which they're all one and the same. But you did have the original 12 apostles who, when you get to Matthew, the 10th chapter, when Yahawashi came on the scene, he gathered from amongst the circumcision because the tents of Judah had to be raised up first. And the first disciple, that he gathered unto himself. All right, his first follower was Peter. Okay, which ultimately we know in spirit who that is. Okay, King David, and Yahawashi as King of Kings and Lord of Lords in the kingdom of heaven. As he told his disciples, they're going to sit on thrones, 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, and the rest of the governing body follows under that order. So that would mean Peter, all right, as you read Revelation, the 21st chapter, okay, he's going to be established right back in his original order, all right, as the head man under Yahawashi, okay, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. The first king under Yahawashi will be King David, the rock on which the church is built. But as you read here in Acts 1 and 15, in those days, Peter stood up in the midst of the disciples and said, and then it gives you this here, in the parentheses, says the number of names together were about, all right, 120. So right here we see that there were 120 disciples. It wasn't just the 12. The 12 were the original, all right, but there were more men who became apostles, as we just read: Barnabas, Timothy, Paul, okay, and disciples. Now, when you look up the word disciple, okay, and what we're telling you is that particular of all right, the first fruit spirits who followed Yahawashi from the foundation of the earth are here today. Okay, but we ourselves ain't gonna put ourselves of a particular number. Okay. Now, when you look at how Jake is acting, and when you look at, you know, the spirit a lot of men come in, it does give you a better chance in the spirit. You're like, we gotta be those men. But we're not going to proclaim that we are the ones who originally walked with Yahawashi, the first ones he picked. Because you put that title on yourself, then demons could jump on you. You see what happened to the God sent comforter. And I'm going to say this, for you who are all following these madmen, when it gets too bugged out and weird, don't try to, backtrack. No, follow them niggas all the way off that cliff. Okay? So the word for disciple,
Strong's G 3101, mathetes. Mathetes.
A learner, a pupil, a disciple. All right? You're a disciple, disciplined. You're being disciplined, all right, to the truth. Okay? Which, you know, there's an order. He that heareth you heareth me. Yahawashi gathered men and sent them out. All right. And through the authority given by the Most High, they now have authority and power. All right. And we're all fighting to be of that number. All right. But we have to, make sure that we come correct and that we don't get beside ourselves and become proud. Okay. And allow these crazy bugged out things to come out of our mouths. So I just wanted to put that out there, okay, because I wanted to get into Matthew, the 10th chapter. And I'm going to start at 16, but when you read the beginning of this chapter, okay, it says in verse 1, and when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits. All right. And if you're singing the new song, all right, you have this power. We have a form of the Holy Spirit. We have a form of spiritual power. All right. But we're seeking to get to that next glory, and to that next glory to where we're the perfect man back with Yahawashi in our original estate. And that's what Yahawashi prayed. He prayed after he did his job. He asked the Most High to return me to my original estate that I had with you from the beginning. And at the end of that chapter, he said, them also whom thou hast given me, bring them back. You see, so this is the reason we're here in Babylon the Great is a result, of a punishment, but also we've received the Holy Spirit, all right, to walk through that straight gate. And we believe this is the final captivity. We believe that the Heavenly Father is going to send his only begotten Son in this lifetime. As you can see, all of the prophecies are coming to pass. Okay? But with that, having this power comes a whole hell of a lot, all right, of hell. And as you can see, brothers, all right, and even sisters who listen, okay, and believe are catching hell. All right. And that comes with the territory as we're being purified. Okay. As the scriptures say, think it not strange concerning a fiery trial, which is to try you. As a matter of fact, let's get that. I know it's in the book of Peter. Yep. First Peter 4:12, beloved, which David Dawada, all right, means beloved. Okay. Think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you. Okay. This is what you signed up for when you came into this. Now, many of you may not have known. A lot of you, all right, may have thought, well, I find out I'm an Israelite. I repent. I don't eat catfish no more. I put on fringes. Set me up an Instagram page and, show my new lifestyle. I cut my auntie, with the scripture. I tell my grandma she don't know what she's talking about, and that's it. You just go off into the sunset. But when you come into this truth, you're entering into a high-level spiritual war. Okay? And there's going to be points where you're like, how in the hell am I going to make it through this? All right? And that's where you have to tap into the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, all right, and believe, all right, in the volume of the book. We have a sure word of prophecy, and the Most High, through Yahawashi, is going to put the Spirit on those elect members to pass those tests. So we can't get above ourselves. And when we catching this hell too, a good thing to ask yourself is, what is the Lord trying to teach me? What demon do I need? Okay, you know yourself. Because a lot of us can get into a victim mentality, which it is hell, and catching hell in the flesh with demons, all it's not fun. All right, but we also must take into account that we all have things that need to be purged out of us. And you got to take into account, all right, that the Lord, okay, asked Satan, I forget how it was, have you considered my servant Job? Right? So all you have to do is replace Job's name with your name, as the elder Yatazak talks about. Okay? And ultimately, the test is to see if you're going to deny the Lord, bow the knee to the image of Baal, all right, or turn your back on this truth because of the fiery trial, which is to try you. So again, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's suffering. And it seems like the true believers are catching more hell than everybody else. Okay? You would think, all right, you sincerely believe, you turned your life around, all right, your brother's going out preaching, putting together lessons, okay, you're turning away from hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, putting it all, counting it all as dung, separating, from your family and all, whatever you did to get into this truth, because we all have a story, okay? You would think like, well, the Lord, now is just nothing, it's going to be nothing but a good old time. Well, that's not the truth. Now, we do get blessed along the way, and what you ask the Lord for is your daily bread, but all right, the Satan is seeking to sift you. That's why you're catching this hell, which ultimately is a reason to rejoice too, because you're even being considered. Is that easy? No, but this is the mindset of the true followers of Yahawashi, and you got to know that. When you go back to ancient Rome, as I said earlier, men and women, okay, were being fed to lions. Okay? See, this time they don't get to win. This time the wicked don't win. Some of us will be beheaded, and who gives a damn? At the end of the day, look at this world. Would you rather live in a world with a charagma in you? Would you rather live in a world where 1 + 1 is 4? Or would you rather stand stiffly for the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi and what you know is true? And again, you got to understand, those followers back then saw Yahawashi face to face. You see? They saw the miracles. So it was easy for them to say, I'm not turning my, I saw it. I know him. They even saw him after his resurrection. You see? So we have to put on that same mind. Because Yahawashi said, I will be with you always unto the end. So he ain't going to put no more on you than you can handle. All right? But when you're catching hell, repent first. Repent. All right? Because sometimes we can just get into the mentality, this is unfair, repent. Ask the Lord too, what are you trying to teach me? Purge out the demons, and you know yourself too. Ultimately, we can any of us can present ourselves as just these, righteous individuals, but we know the BS that goes on in our mind and the BS that we may do in our daily lives, or something we're holding on to that we should let go of. And you're scared to let go of it because what? You fully don't trust, and you fully not putting the burden on Yahawashi. So rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Yahawashi's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye shall be glad also with exceeding joy. No more pain, no more tears, no more of these knowing in part. The full spirit is going to dwell in us. Okay? So, if ye be reproached for the name of a Mashiach, happy are ye, for the Spirit of God, the Spirit of the glory in God rested upon you, and on their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's affairs. You don't want to be a sufferer in the sense that you being a demon and then pointing the finger at everybody else. You got to come correct. Yet if a man suffer as a follower of Yahawashi, or it says a Christian here, which the disciples were called Christian in Antioch first, which was a derogatory term. All right, but the original Christians were the true followers of Yahawashi, Israelites. Let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God on his behalf. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end of them be that obey not the gospel of the Most High? Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. So judgment is going to begin at the house of the Lord. Okay? And sometimes you think judgments are just a nigga, getting, going head on in a car crash, with a Mack truck. Sometimes the Lord taking the spirit off of men in front of you, those are judgments, putting demons on brothers, and many being drawn unto that pernicious ways. These are all judgments, but it's going to get even more severe. This is why you got to come correct, all right, and make your calling and election sure, man. All right. And the videos are a beautiful thing. Doing videos, teaching this word, all right. But you must also, your inward man got to be right, because you got a lot of men, They can push out a lot of videos, but when it comes to applying the things in the scriptures, being a brother, okay, they're lacking. Okay? So Matthew 10:1, and when he called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits. And that's the power we have, man. We're partaking of this. Okay? To cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. Now the names of the 12 apostles are this. First, Simon, who was called Peter, Rock. Andrew, his brother. All right. Now they were followers of John the Baptist first. All right. But they became Yahawashi's first two disciples. Okay. James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew, the publican, James, the son of Alphaeus, and Labius, whose surname was Thaddeus. And some of these men you don't really know anything about. All right. But best believe they did mighty works and mighty things. All right. Some of them even have writings that the Lord just didn't give to us in this time. But we're going to get it all back, man. Okay. And somebody asked about the testimony of Thomas. You know, I believe in that book is off. Okay. I believe in that book. Yahawashi pushed somebody off of a roof and then went and blamed it on somebody else. No, man. No. Simon the Canaanite and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. There you go. All right. Which these are the things that Yahawashi went through. We're going to have to go through. And then he basically told them, to go and gather amongst the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And the first gathering, when Yahawashi gathered was amongst the circumcision. But as they were preaching and teaching, the ones who really took heed, all right, were the trodden down, the lame, the blind, which ultimately are the Gentiles. Okay, those are the ones who were full of faith. Okay? The sick, the lepers, all of that. Okay? Basically in verse 10, he's saying, verse 9, provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey. All right? Neither two coats, neither shoes nor staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat. Meaning the Lord is going to take care of you, and the people, he's going to send people, all right, to help them on their mission. As they went and preached, starting, and around the areas of Jerusalem. Okay. And then eventually we know that it was opened up and they went to these particular Gentiles, which are Israelites, all right, who were repenting and turning from the idols and everything. Okay. So, verse 11, in whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who is worthy, and abide till you go thence. And when ye shall come into a house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. All right. Don't waste your energy. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Okay. Which goes back to an ancient custom. When you left a heathen land and you came into Jerusalem, you didn't even want the dust from those lands to touch, all right, the Jerusalem soil. All right. For verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment, all right, than for that city. All right. Because the men he sent, all right, were speaking on his behalf. So if you reject them, you reject him. Now, what I wanted to really get into, which I may have to make it 2 parts, or I can just get through it. We'll see how the spirit rolls. Was Matthew 10 and 16, all right, to the end. Now, when you read this, I remember one day I read it and I told brothers, it's like Yahawashi is talking to you. Okay? He's talking to you, all right, and preparing you for your mission. And we're on that mission as prophets have been raised up here in Babylon and throughout the four corners of the earth. So what does he say? Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. We are sheep. Sheep need a shepherd. Sheep are not, known, like lions, to go and dominate. Sheep are known for their obedience, how in order they are, but sheep can also be extremely simple. All right? Which is why the scriptures say you should constantly know the state of your flock, the state of the sheeps, which is why we constantly have to push out these lessons to keep the sheep in the right mindset. Because when it goes down, these words are going to be what makes them stable, because it's not us speaking. If we are those men, it's Yahweh through Yahawashi, through the Holy Spirit sent to us. You see? So the words we're speaking, those who are of the elect, when the pressure comes, all right, your words it's gonna in their mind, it'll be like, damn, and they're gonna make the right, and that's how the Heavenly Father works, and they're gonna make the right decisions, all right, within their path and lot, even unto death. All right, because sheep, okay, in their right estate back in the ancient world, okay, they would go a lamb to the slaughter, and we're like lambs, sheep to the slaughter. Okay, they didn't put up a fight. All right, they ultimately, with particular songs and the name of Yahweh and Yahawashi being sung, the sheep would just lay his life down. That's why Yahawashi is likened unto a lamb, because he was obedient to that calling, man. And that is a hardcore manly mentality that Yahawashi had. Only for this goddamn devil to take the true image of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and turn it into what he turned it into, and you think you're not gonna pay? So we're sent forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. We're not wolves or lions right now. Okay? We speak boldly, all right, but we're behind enemy's lines. Okay? And as Yahawashi sent out his disciples to go amongst the circumcision and preach Yahawashi, that was a whoo. You were at threat of imminent death to go to Jerusalem amongst the circumcision, and they know you from amongst the circumcision. They know your background, and to hear you preach Yahawashi back then, okay? And we're, as the scriptures say, let's get that in Ephesians. Ephesians, the 2nd chapter. I was sitting here like, what lesson should I do? And this is where the Spirit led me. Ailments. Okay, 2 months straight, ailments, battling. Like, damn. You sitting talking to other brothers and they going through the same thing. So it's like, now what? Now we're finding out particular sisters catching hell. All right, which we get on the women, but there are women who are of the elect, and there were women who followed Yahawashi. Okay? And some of those very sisters are back here today. And you could be, of that, some of those sisters who were back there who saw him directly face to face. We don't know. But guess what? Them women called hell back then, along, all right, with the men teaching. And it's going to be the same thing now. You see, through his stripes are we healed. You see, but we ourselves, oh man, real quick. Let's get 2 Corinthians 4. 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. And 7. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels. All right. We have this treasure, the Holy Spirit, in this decrepit flesh, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. We don't have no power in this flesh, but through the Holy Spirit, we're emboldened. We are troubled on every side. Everywhere you look, we got to deal with the heathen, Esau, okay, the small hats who are Edomites. Then you got Jake, your own people, men who were once amongst you, every side. And this is the disciples' walk. This is what they had to deal with. Why do you think Paul said, men even of your own camp are going to rise up teaching false philosophies and crap? We're trouble on every side. Car trouble, health, okay? Household issues, okay? Demons coming into your mind to make you think evil of another brother. Doubt demons. You're troubled on every side, yet not distressed. All right. If you understand the mission, and if you truly understand the mission, when these things happen to you, you rebuke those wicked thoughts and you overcome. And it's not the easiest thing to do, but it has to be done. Okay. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Okay. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. Okay, so the true church is going to be persecuted, not looked at in a good light. That's life. That comes with the territory of receiving the Holy Spirit in the midst of a wicked, dark world, void of light. Always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Yahawashi, that the life also of Yahawashi might be made manifest in our body. You see? So Yahawashi's life, you're literally, as you see the men of the Lord, you're seeing what Yahawashi went through them. See? And we can't create our own vengeance. All right? No matter what lie is told on you, still have to what? Bear your cross. Okay? You can't allow bitterness to overtake you. Because Yahawashi, man, that is the man. Sped on, lied on. The top spirit from the right-hand side of the Heavenly Father came down in flesh and was perfect. All right? But the whole time he just caught hell. Okay? But guess what? He amongst his brethren, amongst his body, there was love. Sometimes it came with, him having to get on, his disciples. Okay. But Yahawashi, he, when you understand this story, when you understand what he did, you should be like, wow. See? For we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahawashi's sake, that the life also of Yahawashi might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So the stripes he received, we receive them as well, but in spirit. Ephesians 2:19. Now, therefore, are you no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints in the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahawashi himself being the chief cornerstone, man. So we're built up on that foundation. That's the church. Okay? Going back to Matthew 10:16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. All right? Use wisdom. All right? And a serpent does have negative qualities. All right? But serpents have very, very wise characteristics as well. A serpent knows it's at a disadvantage, so it's not just going to strike just because he can. Even venomous snakes, they know, all right, this is a bear. Let me get the hell up out of the way. All right. They know what particular animals this nigga can step on me. I ain't got no arms, nigga. I can squirm away, but let me leave this alone. They know they pick their battles, man. Very, very wise, and they have other qualities as well. And harmless as doves. Whenever you ever heard of a dove, attacking? Well, in Esau society, shit. But doves are a very, very lovely. They're a lovely sight to see. All right, and they're peaceful. Okay, and we have to have all of these qualities. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Okay, and these were those of the circumcision. Pretty much when they saw the disciples going out and preaching, they were like, hell nah, man. Y'all niggas are wicked. This ain't right. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. They jumped them. Okay. They called hell from those of the circumcision. Being raised amongst the circumcision and then, all right, circumcised on the 8th day, this, that, and then, everything was temple based. And then to come preaching some Yahawashi. Okay, that took boldness back then, and it takes boldness now in this world. It's supposed to look weird. Okay, you got men leaving because particulars of the doctrine and particular laws and particular ways of the East in the ancient world can make you look crazy. Hey, you ashamed of Yahawashi? As a matter of fact, let's get this scripture real quick. And I most likely probably have to do a part 2. Ashamed. That's what I'm looking for. Ashamed. As a matter of fact, let me Salakia. This is whosoever. I know it's, goodness gracious. Yep. This is Mark 8:38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. And we're going to be tested. Okay? But when you look at the evil and wickedness of this world, we have nothing to be ashamed of as concerning the truth of the matter. Okay? So as you teach this word, you're bringing out ancient mentality, ancient mindset, ancient ways. What we're doing is a very ancient lot. See, in the days of old, to see prophets out, that was nothing. But see, we live in a world full of darkness, man. So to stand boldly for what you believe in is deemed crazy. Okay? And they're going to demonize us, man. They're getting ready to come at us on a whole nother level, man. So men will deliver you up to the councils and they will scourge you in their synagogues, man. All right? That happened back then and it's happening now in spirit. Okay? Our apostles and elders, the bishops, they went through particular things. Okay? Now we hear about One West. All right? And I don't speak on it much because I wasn't there. But what I perceive in the spirit is that was like the temple of the day. Okay? And it got corrupted, but the truth still came from there. Just as the at this time. Okay, you had those of the circumcision who were still in the temple, okay, and it got corrupted, but then John the Baptist's father and mother, all right, they were of a family of priests, directly of the lineage of Aaron, and John separated from the temple because most likely he saw it a nonsense, and he went out and preached in the wilderness. Okay? But we can't just say the temple ain't a part of our history because it got corrupted. Anyway, Matthew 8:10 and 18. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my name's sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. And this is going to happen unto us. All right. This is what we have to prepare ourselves for. Yahawashi is talking to you. Yeah, these are things that happened back then. Right. But we are going to be if we're walking and built upon that foundation, we're going to be going through the same things. Brothers are getting ready to be snatched up, some of us. All right. You know, they come snatch you up and you're going to be in question behind your beliefs. Okay. There may be a particular a high up elite that specifically bring him to me. Right. You go before one of the Rothschilds or Joe Biden. Like, although those two ain't on the same level, Joe Biden is a damn puppet. But you just imagine being brought, because I believe there's many Joe Biden. I believe but just being brought before, one of the Joe Biden, and you're sitting there, and they're laughing and they think they got you, and the Lord gives you a testimony, and then the lights go out. All of them freeze, and an angel coming, or one of the somebody's dressed up as one of them, but it's really an angel and guide you out. That's the type of stuff that's getting ready to happen. And if you don't believe on that level, then hey, you don't understand these scriptures, man. You got to be crazy, in a sense, to believe what's written in these scriptures, man. The parting of the Red Sea. That's why you got particular cats now. All of a sudden, ain't no miracles. Because we're getting down to the nitty gritty of this thing, and everybody is going to be revealed for who they really are. What's inside of you is going to eventually come out. Who you are is going to eventually come out. You can fool men for so long. Okay? And for all of you following all of these crazies, again, when it gets obvious that they don't try to come around us like, man, I didn't know, my bad, I was just, good luck. Okay? Good luck. All right? It says, and you should be brought before governors and kings for my name's sake, or for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. So there's particular brothers, who are going to be brought before particular high level men of this world, just to give them a testimony. Okay. Then maybe you disappear. Okay. Then maybe what you say is so powerful, they start trembling, and you start naming particular members of their family, that scare the shit out of them. They're like, what the? But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given in you in that same hour what ye shall speak, man. And that's powerful. Okay. And when we go out on the highways and the byways, and some brothers have written down lessons. There's nothing wrong with that. But man, over the last like 3 to 4 years, I don't even think about no more what I'm going to say on the highways and the byways. I just start going in, before the camera come on and be like, well, what scriptures y'all got in mind? We may start off with a script, but from that, everything that comes out is all of the Spirit. How much more when you're put into a tight situation, man? Yahawashi was before Pontius Pilate. And and Pilate was like, this, he ain't did nothing wrong. Because the Spirit was on him. And the scriptures say when a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies be at peace with him. So we all have provision and paths prepared for us, and it's going to be crazy. You may be warded off to a concentration camp, right? We talk about these things. You may be taken to one, and then the miracle is worked. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. There you go. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death. Okay? These are the things that are coming. Things are going to get so bad. Particular men who ain't rooted, all right, they're going to be taking deals, outing you, putting particular things out there, and working with Satan himself. Watch. Once particular men are faced with, I got to give this up. Oh, damn, I didn't know it was going to be this crazy. I got to sleep in a tent, or I got to, you don't know what situation we may be in. Men are going to fold. And I pray to Yahawashi, I'm not one of those men. That's a dishonorable way to be. And father the child, and children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. All right. You're going to have particular children that you thought you are raising my child up in the truth. Okay. But when shit get crazy, we all hope, that our families, our wives, our children be delivered. But hey, the Lord may have a different path and you still got to walk. Okay. It gets crazy and your child gets scared. Okay. And go to the feds on your ass. Yeah, my father, he's always teaching me this, that. I can't eat pork. I can't, the birthdays are wicked. I can't Christmas. Yeah. Somebody go be in his ear. These are the realities of what's coming down the pipe. Okay. And these are the things that the disciples, the apostles witnessed, man. Okay, you think I didn't raise my child to be a Hebrew Israelite. Now, of course, this ain't going to be every case, but it's going to happen to somebody because it's written. Your own child, man, you could be like, damn. And that's the mentality of these little niggas in this world. Now, your child can be spot on and then get to a point. Because you look at your child and you like, man, Lord, please be with, because our children will be swallowed up. And we hope for the best, but it just may be that your child goes to the feds on your ass and have you to be executed. God damn. Okay. And even outside of the truth, that's going to be happening. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Check this video out. Now, I'm not going to play it all. But this is what we have to look forward to, all right, on a large scale. Okay?
I don't normally dwell on the unhinged rantings of anti-Semites, but when Jew hate makes headlines,
anti-Semitism.
Anti-Semitism. When rappers proclaim,
I see good things about Hitler also.
When radical Hebrew Israelites gather en masse to preach conspiracy theories, it's time to speak up.
We support Hitler. Because Hitler was killing your people and Hitler knew who the real Jews was.
These groups endorse a toxic mix of anti-Semitism, xenophobia, and a whole lot of other hatreds. They've inspired hate crimes and murder.
See? And then they're going to have those crazy Jakes saying crazy things. Okay? Which we've said some crazy things before too. But goddamn, you got to use wisdom, man. All right? We've had particular brothers in the camp who the Lord got rid of them, but it was like, damn. That can be used against us, right? But hey, that's the Lord. That's how the Lord set it up, man. And all of these things are going to be put on us, as the scriptures say. Yahawashi was numbered amongst the transgressors. Okay, Isaiah 53. Okay, imagine that. Isaiah 53:12. All right. Therefore I will divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong. That's Yahawashi, man. okay, and his elect. Because he hath poured out his soul unto death, he was numbered with the transgressors and bare the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. So Yahawashi was looked at as a common thief. As a matter of fact, Jake released Barabbas in a ritual that goes back, you release one of the men who getting ready to be crucified. Jake said, free Barabbas, free Little Wayne. But destroy Yahawashi. Put him to death. But Little Wayne or Birdman, free him. Okay? Free Cardi B. But them niggas gotta go. This is how we're getting ready to be looked at. Worse than Little Wayne, worse than the grimiest of grimiest niggas. They're gonna put us out there as the problem of the earth. And then we're gonna be the number one enemy of the New World Order. This is the reality of what you are a part of. Okay? Sisters that deal with particular brothers, they can come to your crib, such and such, Hey, but the Lord, hey, we're giving you this aspect of it, okay? But the other side of it is that the Lord is going to somehow get us all out of that. Even the ones who will put to death, we're going to be raised first. So you're going to be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth unto the end shall be saved.
And their numbers are growing rapidly. So who are these guys? Where did their beliefs come from? And how should the Jewish community respond to them?
This is what we're getting rid of, a complete degenerate. Okay? And again, these people don't even know who Sem or Shem is. But we have to understand we live in a system of Edomite supremacy, so people are going to go to bat for him. And it's getting ready to come harder. You're getting ready to be on the news and you're going to go to work. Hey, fuck it, man. At this point, we've seen enough. That's why the Lord has showed us all his wickedness. That's why he's putting all of this hell on us, so that when it finally comes down to it, they love not their lives unto the death. That is a mindset that's going to be needed to get through this all. Okay? That ain't just something that's written on paper. You got to apply that. But the beauty of it is not on us. It's all through the Most High. But we still have what? We got to put forth our best effort, man. Revelation 12 and 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. That's how the elect overcome. All right. That down payment, which Yahawashi shed his blood, that covered the elect for this time to be entered into the new covenant. And as we're walking through this grace period, he's given us the Holy Spirit, Rahakwadash, to offer up the right sacrifice and be justified by faith, man. See, they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. See? Let's read this in the NLT. Okay? And they defeated him by the blood of the Lamb and by the testimony, and they did not love their lives so much that they were afraid to die. And we've seen enough to really take, because it's like, how much longer do you want to be here? The spiritual world, that don't sound too bad. Some days you be thinking, now we know we got to be here to preach this word, but even Paul was like, man, I'd rather be in the spiritual realm. And some days, a lot of times I sit there and think that. But then you know what comes to my mind after that thought? The sheep. I got to teach, because we're a sacrifice, man. This is our sacrifice. So we're going to be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth unto the end shall be saved. But when they shall persecute you in this city, flee into another. All right. As you have now this particular trend where here it is. Great Millstone is the worst of the worst. Grapists, grimy, bums, wrinkly garments, makes Israel look bad. right? But then these camps are just setting up what we teach. What's up with that? But you know what? Let Jake have it, because, you know, we're going to go teach where we teach. But let's say we go to the camp one day and those crazy Fred Flintstone niggas from One Body, they don't even call themselves One Body in Yahawashi no more. They did away with the 12 tribes chart. Okay, they're now teaching a whole wayward doctrine, and that's another thing. There's a lot of spies and agents. The camps have been infiltrated, and you have camps that are completely operating under the influence of the FBI and in the left hand. And you go to their pages, you see thousands of comments. A lot of those are bots. A lot of these camps are fake. But you have to ask yourself, why are these dudes all of a sudden just popping up where we teach? Okay, because they're getting ready to make a move. Okay, they're getting ready to make a move, man. And the scriptures clearly tell you, hey, in the spirit, that ain't right. If you know one camp teaches here, yeah, just go somewhere else, man. You would think Jake would have that respect, but nah. Jake is like, nigga, we teach here. Remember ISUPK? They went to the brothers in Pittsburgh. This is ISUPK corner. Then the brothers stayed, sat there and preach. But hey, now we know, we got the mindset. Hey, you got it, bro. And niggas on the comment board, y'all some suckers. Y'all got moved off your spot. Well, nigga, you an armchair prophet. Well, you ain't even a prophet. You just a nigga at home, okay, with a too tight wave cap on, who gets a kick out of the Israelites. You're not really about this thing. You don't know. You're not rooted in this thing. You're just looking for something to laugh at or something to talk shit about. That's what the majority of you Israelites are empty and fickle. Soon as you see one nigga buck up, you jump to him. And no matter how far the bug out go, you're agreeing with him. He can change everything. And that's right. That's good. It's a new age. It's a new day. But you're noticing these particular camps popping up on the exact spot where brothers preach at. So these men are about to start coming to camp when we're there, which is a form of persecution. But you know what? Go somewhere else. We have no continuous city here. We don't. F it. You got it, bro. We got to take the high. We got to take the low. Because somebody got to apply Yahawashi. Somebody got to apply Yahawashi, because these niggas are off. Don't give us the right to operate and try to be just like them. Now, we may have a few words, tell them that's some BS, but then at the end of the day, we're leaving. So when they persecute you in the city, which the disciples were, we know they were persecuted. All right, read the book of Acts. Okay, flee ye into another, for verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man come. Let's read this in the NLT. We probably can get through the whole thing. Let's see here. What am I doing? When you are persecuted in one town, flee to the next, which you got men who supposedly believe in the Bible that says that's a sucker move, because most men are worldly, man. I tell you the truth, the Son of Man will return before he have reached all the towns in Israel. Jake is everywhere. Okay, that's why the Lord set up the internet. All right, we go on the highways and the byways, which the highways is a broad place. The byways is a more secluded, less known place, where a path where not many men travel. I bet y'all didn't know that, huh? As a matter of fact, let's type in, you got men, making mockery of particular bishops and the apostles when they go to places that are not, well traveled, where when you look up the term byway, give me 1 second here. Byway definition, we use highways and the hedges, highways and the byways. We always say that, right? Well, I'm going to hip you to something. It was a brother who brought this out. I forget which one. That's why, again, the word, words, you got to look them up. Jake was offended that they were called offshoot camps, which that's a family member. Byway, a side road, a secondary or arcane field of study, a byroad, a secluded, private, or obscure way, out of the way path, course as highways and byways. So you're going to have brothers in places where there's a lot of people, and sometimes you're going to have brothers in places where there's not a lot of people. That's just what it is. Okay? That's why, the Lord set up the internet. And see, the Lord is really getting ready to shut the mouth of the prophets too. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there for all you naysayers and weirdos out there. All right? Who are now all of a sudden you the greatest nigga on the planet Earth. Okay? Anyway. So you're not going to reach all the cities of Israel. So, and there's so many places to go. It's like, all right, man. The Lord may, have you moved off of a spot because a judgment is coming to that spot. You never know. The meaning of discipleship, as we're being disciplined in the way of righteousness through Yahawashi via the Holy Spirit. Okay, you got to understand, Yahawashi was the comforter because he was face to face with his men. Okay. We're being comforted through the Holy Spirit, which is him. All right. But as the scriptures say, ye seeth him, but the world don't see it. Okay. So it's like you feel him, you hear him, and you know he's there, but it's a belief, it's a faith you have to have. Okay. When you heard the words of the prophets and you turned from wickedness, that was Yahawashi speaking to you. Anyway, Matthew 10:24, the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. Okay? So what he went through, what the hell you think you going to go through? And he went through pure hell to get back to the right-hand side. You think you just going to have a free road, get all this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and ain't nothing you ain't going to have no test? Remember, we're being purified by water and fire. The water is the word, all right? And then the fire are the trials, all right, which test your character, which build your character. Okay? It says, Matthew 10:25, it is enough for the disciple that he be as his master and a servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much shall they call them of his household? And we want to be of the household of Yahawashi. We want to be of that number, right? So that means you're going to have to take on the same attacks, all right, that he himself had to take on. Okay? Give me 1 second. They call him Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies. The top spirit from the right-hand side being called Beelzebub. Baalzebub. You ain't casting out spirits in the name of Yahweh. You casting out spirits in the name of Beelzebub. Just a mean, evil, spirited, unreasonable niggas, man. And they're back. Okay? So if we're going to be joint heirs with him, and we were the direct followers of him, even going back to the spiritual realm, okay? And that doesn't mean we're saying we're of the 12. We don't know who's who. Do I believe some of the 12 are here? Absolutely. Do I believe certain prophets that we read about in the scriptures are here today? Absolutely. That's written. Okay? But even if you're not of that original number, you still are going to have, okay, to go through this, man. Fear not them, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. So the Lord is going to make everything manifest. And see, that takes faith when you're being persecuted. To be labeled a pedophile, okay, when you're explaining and when you're breaking it down, Do you know how much I hate pedophiles? But then the Lord puts me, okay, someone who pretty much all my life got along with people, liked, loved, you know, everybody, wanted me to be around, to come into a situation now where I'm being called a pedophile, being called a bum, being called all manner of things, zombie wombi, and many more things. Calling your job. Yeah, we went through that, and more is coming. But guess what? And now what? That's why it takes faith, because if you get caught up in that back and forth and you get caught up in the bitterness that comes with those things, then you lose the battle. That's where faith comes in. The Lord is going to handle them niggas. Okay? Lest they repent. Fear not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. So the Lord is going to make everything manifest. And there's judgments tied to the things men do. Okay? Because when you're caught up in the flesh, okay, you don't think about what you say or do. And that's a female quality. We have to be men. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light. And what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. Okay? And we're doing that as we've been got the doctrine, man. Now what do we do? He that run it, read it, may run. Where do we run? To the highways and the byways, to these videos to do these lessons. Okay? We weren't given this knowledge to just keep it and hide it under a napkin. We're here to preach with the measure we were given. Every man has his measure. Every particular brother has his function in the body. Okay? And fear not them which kill the body, but are able to kill the soul. All right? Let me read this again. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And that's the Most High. Okay, he can totally just do away with your spirit, man. Okay? If that's what he wanted to do. That's who you fear. Because we have to understand everything that's happening and everything that was is going on, it was already preordained. Okay? It was already foreordained, man. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing? So, although we're bringing out the things that Esau's going to do, the World Economic Forum, all of these various things, we don't fear them. We fear the Lord, because the Lord can give you into their hands and let them have their way. See? As the scriptures say, many seek the ruler's favor. What's that scripture? Or is it a U? We'll find out. Yep. Proverbs 29 and 26. Many seek the ruler's favor. That's why many people are going to bow the knee. But every man's judgment cometh from the Most High God, Yahweh. Bahashem Yahawashi, man. And no, that's not idol worship. That when we see the name Yahweh, we say Bahashem Yahawashi, because that's our only way to Yahweh is through Yahawashi. We understand that the Most High, all right, is omnipotent. He's the creator of Yahawashi. Okay, we understand that Yahawashi gets his power from the Most High, but Yahawashi could never be an idol. Okay, he's our only hope. It says, are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing? And one of them shall not fall upon the ground without your father. Okay? Let's read this in NLT. Oh, boy. Speaking of birds, It says, what is the price of 2 sparrows? 1 copper coin. But not a single sparrow can fall to the ground without your Father knowing it. And that's a very intricate power right there. Think about that. A roach don't die unless the Heavenly Father wanted to die. A bird don't fall out of the sky unless the Heavenly Father has ordained it. That's some high level power. Okay? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. What? Fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. You see that? You're more valuable than a bird. You see? So if the Lord wants you to drop dead right now, you drop dead. See? If the Lord, whatever the Lord's will is going to be done. And you have to understand that. So the fear isn't to the white man. The fear isn't to, all right, the NWO. You may see these things and be like, damn, them robots that they're creating. But really, you fear the Lord, because if he wants you to be taken by them damn robots, okay, and fully swallowed up of the NWO, and put a spirit on you to bow the knee, he can do that, which is going to lead to your destruction. So fear the Lord. Okay? Whosoever shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. You see? And that's what we've been sent to do. Confess, all right, Yahawashi, man. And if you become ashamed of that because of this wicked world and deny him, then you're going to be denied. Because, again, the Lord has showed us more than enough. The alphabet stuff that's even coming to children, that alone, children are being targeted for a very satanic agenda. And you're going to be ashamed of what these people think? Look at Christianity. Look at the food. Everything's tainted. And you're going to be afraid to confess the Lord in a backwards, perverse society as this? You're not worthy then. And you see men already tucking their nuts over the smallest things. Y'all gonna make me look like a rapist. And Jake do all that, and then you still gonna be called one. They may have your ass on the news as one. And you best believe it, we were just going around raping, the 9 and 12-year-olds, any woman, even 40-year-olds. Hey, we be in jail, man. It's a stupid thing. You don't do that. And even back in the ancient world, men did just go around raping women. But hey, just like today in this, it happens. We just have a law on how to handle it, and you're ashamed? But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. All right, remember, you're a disciple sent on a mission. Okay? And again, as I did a video a while back, you got to understand your true origin. It's not this life. This life, we were just given this body for the mission. Your parents, all right, everything you've tied to in this world is, at the end of the day, it's just for this time. Okay? Yeah. The wife you have now may have been your wife in another time. The children you have now may be your children from another life. Your father and your mother, if you're of the elect, that ain't your original father. Your original father, if you're of that number, is the Most High God, Yahweh, through Yahawashi. If you're of that first fruit spirit, you got to think like that. This life, this world, it's just what it is. It's to get through the mission. And the Lord could take any of these things that you're tied to away, and then what are you going to do? That's what I keep asking myself as I'm being plagued. Now what? There's some days you wake up, no energy, no spirit in you. But then it's like, well, damn, now I'm just not going to do the work. No, now what? You still got to fight through it. And see, when you start to get into the lesson, it's like the sickness is gone. Hey, there's power in this word. We just have to tap into it. But see, sometimes we lean on things that comfort us in the flesh too much. Okay? We got to get into the time where we get full off of the spiritual meat. This carnal meat is perishing, is terrible, is wicked. It's fighting against us. Every meal you eat is fighting against who you are, fighting against your spirit. All of the food is meant to destroy you. And you're addicted to these things. You're addicted to the things of the flesh. But really, at the end of the day, man, it don't mean you any good. Now, we're under curses, so we still have to, bread defiled. But the carnal meat can't be the end all be all, man. You got to tap into the spiritual meat. Because when the carnal meat runs out, then what? You're going to have to tap in, and then you have to have faith that the Heavenly Father is going to feed you, because we're in the flesh. We're going to have to eventually eat and drink. Well, the Lord promised us that we would eat and drink while others suffer. I'm going to do what's necessary to be in that stead, because we can clearly see these prophecies coming to pass, man. So anyway, if you deny me before men, him will I deny before my Father which is in heaven. And remember, that's our advocate. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am not come to send peace, but a sword. Okay? See, as the scriptures say, he that cometh and preacheth to another Messiah, that peaceful, loving, you ain't got to worry about nothing, everything's fun, party, BS. That's men's bellies. They're putting their belly at the forefront of the gospel because that's what they want to do. But when Yahawashi was on the earth, he didn't do all of that crap y'all doing. And we all have spirits. We all have folly. We all have wants. The flesh is created to enjoy. But see, we're not in a position to where the earth can be enjoyed. We have times where we, get away or whatever, a little pastime. But even those things ain't fun no more like they used to. I used to be a music fanatic. Now sometimes brothers send music. I don't even be in the mood to hear it. Miserable. But then, there'll come times where you be like, all right, that's it. Let me add that to the list. Make a mix, do whatever. But those things are becoming even few and far between. The true Lord came to send a sword. He came to bring division, hell. Think not that I am come to send peace on the earth. I am not come to send peace, but a sword. For I come to set a man at variance against his father, the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law, which we see that all the time. Daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. It says, a man's foes shall be they of his own household. And brothers, even people you thought were down, man, you got to have the mentality, hey, if this is taken away from me, hey, what are you going to do, fold? Oh, my God. But, mama, all that bullshit. Hey, at the end of the day, when people show themselves, it's just, hey, you were warned. That's why we got to go into these things, man. The Lord is warning you what comes with being in this truth. And who wants this? But hey, it's the reality. That's why we got to get out of our feelings, man, and be men. It's too much wimp, weak. And the more I'm being hardened, because I feel like I'm being hardened. We being hardened, man. The more weak, effeminate, bitch-ass men, man, it irks me. Men who are consumed by the bitterness and just crying and weak. That's why, man, I'm making it a point. I'm dealing like a man. All of the little bitchy stuff that come in your mind. Nah, man, deal like a man. It's time to show ourselves men. The scriptures say, in understanding, be men. Okay? Gird up the loins of your mind. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And that sounds harsh. See, this is the part of Yahawashi that a lot of these camps don't want to present. They want to present this family lovey-dovey. See, and we have to add the balance. It's nothing. If you have a family and y'all get along, that don't mean you got to go home and be a lion in your house. If you have a cool situation, hey, man, hey, more power to you. But you better be mindful that the Lord can put a spirit on that to break that up. Then what? Always got to keep the reality of where we are and what could happen at the forefront. Okay? Pray for the best. But sometimes you got to expect the worst. You don't know what the hell kind of demon go jump on. People are bugging out. So he that loveth father and mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. You lose your son or daughter and you fall out of the truth. You lose your family and the teaching of the word is no longer at the forefront. Then you're not worthy. This is a hardcore calling. That is a hardcore saying in this world. See? This world teaches you to sow, to be servants to them. The scriptures tell you, don't ever let your wife or your child have power over you like that. See? This is a manly book, man. This is a manly spirit. The Bible is a manly book. The patriarchs are at the forefront of the Bible. Yeah, there's particular women who are mentioned that did good things. You know, a lot of people mention Deborah. Deborah did a beautiful thing, and that was a time where we would. But who fought the war? Who did she go to counsel? Barack. Okay. And there's women who did good things in the scripture, but this book is the book of patriarchs, and that's who's going to be at the forefront of the leading of our kingdom. Men. This world has softened us too goddamn much, man. Babylon. It's confused us. Now we're shaking that dust off, man. And now, brothers, you're being hardened. That's why you feel I can't even explain what I feel as a man some days. The way that I feel about this world and my mentality even towards women now. It's just like, ugh, F this world. Whatever I got, I got. I don't want, seeking, all of that. Look, I'm done. We know Isaiah 4:1 is going to come if we're those men, but, for now, look, the last thing on my mind. It's booty everywhere you look. Everybody got on these tights. All these women, it's like, yeah, it looks good, but then it's ugh. And then it becomes too fucking much. That's why I ran off of the little secret, IG page I had. Everywhere you looked, it was booty. God damn. And I was looking at a study, and that lowers men's vibration when women are walking around half naked like that. We are in a worst case scenario. There are demons fighting against us that we have no idea even exist. The water Yahawashi for the promise, for predestination, because it's like it comes to a point where you're like, well, what am I gonna do? Like Ezra say, who's gonna deliver me in those days? Matthew 10:38. Let me get through this. Just had to rant because it's like the feeling I've been feeling over the past, since like mid last year to now. It's just like different, man. Like, what is this? But I've come to the conclusion that I'm being hardened, and it's supposed to be that way. All that the Lord ain't with that spirit, man. Shit ain't cute. This world, it ain't cute. We're in a dangerous position right now. We need the Lord to come and deliver us, man. We need to be mournful and serious about what the hell is going on, where we are in prophecy. Matthew 10:38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. See? He that taketh not his cross and followeth not after me is not worthy of me. And everybody's cross is their cross. Okay, your lot, because each individual in the of that's of the number, the elect, you catch hell according to your spirit. Every brother has his particular hell, and you sisters that you seeing now. Y'all thought y'all just gonna be believing and wow, this is true and following and nah, them demons coming after your ass too. And that was a beautiful lesson the Elder Manata Sakba did. You know, well needed. This is why we gotta make sure we're keeping the sheep, you know, in mind. We gotta feed the sheep. These brothers and sisters, hey, we're casting off demons, man. We're in a we've been put in a very, very serious position. We can't F this up. Anyway, Matthew 10:38, and he that taketh not his cross, okay, your burden, your baptism, your refinement under this grace period, okay, because we're blessed to receive the Holy Spirit, but we have a cross, we have a baptism that we must be baptized with. See? And it comes with a heavy burden. To whom much is given, much is required. See? And we still got to keep our integrity. Yahawashi bore his cross. He went through what the Heavenly Father ordained him to go through. He was a lamb to the slaughter. Okay? And we have to take that mindset. And he's speaking to his men. Okay, and read it on your own one day, and you'll feel it. Like, dang, he's speaking. He's supping with me, because that's what happens when you read. And sometimes we're focused on output so much that we don't input. We got to input too. We have to sup with Yahawashi, man. Okay, through reading the Bible. Okay, but it's in us. It's in us at this point. But you still got to sup with the Lord, because that's, man, little things are opened up to you when you just read. Okay, so he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me, because the bitterness of that cross, okay, has sent men over the edge. Okay. And the bitterness becomes the gospel. And we don't want to be like that. Again, we have sheep that need to be fed. We're set up as shepherds under the good shepherd, Yahawashi. So we still have to follow with our cross. Okay? And even Yahawashi needed help carrying that cross. All right? Which, ultimately that's what the brotherhood, that's the brotherhood, man. Okay, just like Jacob's thigh was out of joint, but he still fought for the blessing. That's the mindset. Us as the disciples of Yahawashi must come. Okay, and he that findeth this life shall lose it. Okay, and he that loseth this life, all right, for my sake shall find it. Okay. And we're not in the time of seeking out some sort of glory in this life. And you have many Israelites that push that, the vibration of me. All right. When you hear a guy talking about me, me. All right. Or use this truth to make some sort of name for themselves with their little talents that they have, which, Israel has talents. And you don't have to suppress your talents, but you don't have to add. We're not supposed to try to add, all right, the talent outside of the preaching of the word to the gospel to try to make it more attractive. Yahawashi was not with that. You have men who come into this truth and seek preeminence and seek to ultimately make a name for themselves using ultimately the same platform from the world, but adding the Israelite twist to it. Let's look up this word, findeth. And again, Esdras in 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, gives us the perfect mindset to have in these times. He said, be ye as pilgrims in the earth. I mean, ultimately you understand that you're just passing through. This is not the end all be all. This is a filthy and polluted world. This is not our rest. We're not seeking praise in this world. Okay?
Strong's G 2147. Hurisco.
To come up on, hit up on, to meet with, after searching, find the thing sought. All right, seeking fame without previous search, to fall in with. Or as the scriptures say, you're not entangled with the affairs of this world. And you damn sure ain't using the platform of the truth to exalt yourself, okay, and make a name for yourself, okay? Selling mixtapes, becoming a Israelite celebrity. The Yahawashi wasn't with that. But the wicked chief priests and scribes who didn't follow after Yahawashi, that was their mindset. And I don't think men understand what a Pharisee was, because a Pharisee was boasting in the law and sought salvation by outward appearance and what's on your garments and, all of this. So how is Great Millstone the Pharisees? You have men that have the spirit of Pharisees, but how will we meet that when we ain't teaching that salvation is by the law and you got to have this, you got to have that? To find by inquiry, thought, examination, scrutiny, observation, discover, to get knowledge, to acquire, to obtain, and so forth. Okay? So he who seeks, all right, that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth, let's look up the word loseth. Apulumi, to destroy, to put out of the way, entirely abolish, to put an end to, ruin, render, useless. And this is metaphorically to devote or give over to eternal misery in hell. Okay, to perish, to be lost, ruined, destroyed. All right, and this is all in a spiritual sense, man. Okay, you throwing away this life for the greater good. Now, does that mean you don't work to have a roof over your head? Does that mean if you have a family or whatever, you just kick them in the ass and say F all y'all? No. All right, but it's a mindset, it's an expectation, and again, 2nd Esdras goes perfectly into that. Okay. And I'm going to pull it up, but I'm not going to read it all. All right, so you all can know what I'm talking about. It's the perfect precept to go, okay, with what Yahawashi is talking about. Because people will hear that, and it's a mindset. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle. And in those days, in evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. See? Be a pilgrim. A pilgrim is someone passing through, going to a holy place. This is not your rest. We have no continuous city here. Your mindset is not gain and a future here. And you have Israelites that are teaching that. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one who will lose. He that occupieth merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. What is that? A mindset. Okay, you have things going on, you're doing things, but what is your expectation? Are you gonna look back when you're faced with losing these things? He that soweth as if he should not reap. He that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry as the widowers. Now, if you happen to have a child on the way, okay, that don't make you wicked, because overall the Lord, any child, that's how I look at it, that's brought into the world, okay, the Lord wanted that child here. And you're going to have women who are pregnant and giving birth, all right, upon deliverance. That's in the book of Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, 7 and 8. You can read that, all right. But what is your mindset? Okay, are you like, man, I want 8 children? Because, we're just living in a jacked up world. There's nothing wrong with wanting children. There's nothing wrong with wanting a, family. But we lived in a tainted society. Okay? So they that marry as though they that get no children. All right? And they that marry not as the widowers. So you got to be very careful. All right? And understand the times you're in. Okay? And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, take their children captives, for in captivity and famine shall they get children. See? So if you have a mindset, I'm going to have this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get that, and the Lord is going to take it from you. Okay? But if you're sincerely serving the Lord and your mindset, all right, is in the heavens and you have the right expectation, hey, the Lord, he'll take care of us, man. Okay? Anyway, let's go ahead and finish this up because this app that I'm using has been crazy. Everything is just going wrong, but hey, we all right, man. Damn, this is a new computer I bought, and it's been jacked up ever since I got it. Tried to get it returned, it didn't work. Damn hard drives going out. Maybe I was expecting a great computer and a great hard drive, and the Lord took it. Ah, man. Anyway, let me finish this lesson up, man, because truth be told, I did like an hour and something. Then the computer jacked up for about a whole hour, and I've been waiting. So I'm starting back up. It's just too much, man. Hey, may Yahawashi, the destroy Babylon the Great and deliver his elect, man. From the four corners of the earth. This is hell, man. But there's a reward. Okay, there's a reward. The reward of service. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. That's the order. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. Okay? So if you listening and you praying for brothers, you giving alms if you can, but even if you can't, the mere prayer for the men of the Lord. Okay? You go by a camp, you give water. Hey, there's a reward coming for all of those things. And whosoever shall give drink to one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. So as the apostles, the disciples are on their mission, the Lord set up, those who are going to be of good service unto them. And there's a reward coming for that because you're receiving them in the name of Yahawashi. So hopefully y'all are edified. I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson. Hopefully y'all are edified. Shalom.